This is the fourth part of a series of sales celebrating the English watch. This sale encapsulates English watchmaking from the middle of the 17th century right through to the 1970s. Examples of watches in this sale demonstrate the extraordinary innovations that have taken place over the centuries, with each subsequent generation improving on the technical abilities of the last. The sale culminates in George Daniels, who was the most important watchmaker of the 20th century. George Daniels was a most remarkable man. He could see the threat posed by the quartz watch during the 1970s, and single-handedly he went about preserving the mechanical watch. He wrote the seminal book on watchmaking, and his great legacy is to leave his estate for the benefit of future watchmaking. One of the earliest watches in the sale is a wonderful astronomical timepiece by Benjamin Hill. This particular watch dates to 1665, just before the Great Fire in London. It's a beautiful piece of work and in fact was made part of the George Daniels watch collection. A slightly earlier watch dating from 1655 is by Edward East. He was appointed clockmaker to Charles II and made some most beautiful watches, of which this is an example. This not only strikes the hours but also has an alarm. The watch by Walter Partridge is one of the largest watches ever made and is almost too heavy to hold in one hand. One of the most important features of this watch is the remarkable repoussé case, which has a beautiful scene of the Adoration of the Magi in silver. Very few watches of this size were ever made, and this is a particularly good example. The Thomas Earnshaw 18-karat gold pocket chronometer is a beautiful example of Earnshaw's work. The pocket chronometer, of course, was just the next extension and further refinement of the marine chronometer and was the most accurate form of timekeeping at the time. John McLennan was another very fine watchmaker, and he produced this extraordinary miniature pocket chronometer. He miniaturized it to such an extent, it's probably just about impossible to make a smaller watch. In 1969, George Daniels devised his first proper pocket watch. In fact, it's a pocket chronometer. The problem with a pocket chronometer is that it will not start on its own. You have to twist the watch to enable it to start. George Daniels improved upon that, whereby when you've wound the watch, it immediately starts on its own. This sale gives collectors the opportunity to purchase some of the finest watches made through the 4 centuries.